Chosen ones. Listen closely, for the atmospheric grid has just verified your transition from the shadows to the light. Your comeback starts now. You did not find this message by accident. The algorithm didn't randomly suggest this transmission to you. Your eyes are scanning these words because something deep within your spirit recognized a frequency of truth you have been starving for. You are seeing this right now because you are standing at the threshold of the most significant comeback of your entire life. And it begins today, January 26th. If you can feel in your marrow that your season of restoration has arrived, if something inside you is vibrating in confirmation, you must declare your return. Like this video right now, to signal to the source of all frequency that you have finished your period of dormancy. In the comments below, I want you to type the command, "My comeback," to anchor your energetic signature. This is not for engagement, it is a spiritual announcement. When you type, "My comeback," you are telling the great orchestrator that you are ready to claim what has been prepared for you. You are activating the energy of elevation. Don't skip this step. The universe is waiting for your signature. The time of being overlooked is over. The period of preparation is complete. The protocol is active. The return is inevitable. Your comeback starts now. Chosen ones. Listen closely, for we are not discussing a mere return to the starting line. This is not about regaining what was lost when your world collapsed. The Matrix wants you to believe that getting back to normal is a victory, but that is a fundamental deception. A real comeback is not about returning to your old life with a few minor improvements. It is a radical ascension. It is about rising to a frequency you have never experienced before, manifesting a version of yourself you've only dared to dream of in the quietest hours of the night. You are stepping into a reality that reveals your past was never a punishment. It was a divine preparation. What is about to unfold in your life isn't just recovery, it is a revolutionary transformation. Think back to where you were a year ago, or even just 6 months ago. You were struggling in ways that felt unbearable. You were navigating losses that seemed permanent and facing obstacles that appeared insurmountable. You were surrounded by the static of doubters, situations that drained your divine essence, and circumstances that made you question if the breakthrough would ever arrive. And yet, here you are, still standing, still vibrating, still anchored in the belief that the impossible is becoming inevitable, even when every logical thread of the 3D world told you to surrender. That resilience, that absolute refusal to quit, and that stubborn faith in the face of overwhelming evidence is exactly what has qualified you for the coming shift. The universe has been watching you with meticulous intent, not as a judge, but as a master architect, observing a structure under pressure, testing whether you have what it takes to anchor the highest timelines. Every hardship was an evaluation. Every betrayal was a test of your capacity to release and move forward. Every failure was a measurement of your internal momentum. Every moment of isolation was a divine audit to see if you could find the light within yourself rather than seeking it in the shadows of external validation. And chosen one, you passed. You didn't just survive what was designed to destroy you, you transmuted it. You used the very fire meant to consume you to become wiser, more resilient, more authentic, and devastatingly powerful. Chosen ones, today, January 26th, marks the official activation of your comeback season. The spiritual gates that have been barred for years are now swinging wide on their hinges. This is the moment the energetic blockages that stunted your growth begin to dissolve into the void. The invisible barriers standing between your current location and your divine destiny are not just bending, they are collapsing. This is not speculation. This is not motivational hype designed to soothe the ego. This is a vibrational reality. The shift has already been codified in the unseen realms, and right now, it is crossing the threshold into your physical experience. As this frequency hits your 3D reality, everything changes. Understand this. Your comeback will not be a replica of anyone else's. Your journey has been a unique blueprint, and your restoration will be just as distinct. For some, this comeback will be a public explosion, a dramatic, visible surge that the entire world will be forced to witness. For others, it will be a quiet, internal revolution, a profound recalibration of the soul that only the most awakened around you will perceive. It will unfold with surgical precision, in the exact timing and manner that serves your highest good. Do not commit the sin of comparison. Do not measure your internal expansion against someone else's highlight reel or the artificial timelines of the Matrix. Your path is yours alone, and in the eyes of the great architect, it is perfect. You must now anchor this frequency. Like this video immediately to signal to the universe that you have accepted your seat at the high table of your new destiny. In the comments below, type the code January 26th to seal your alignment with this opening portal. Subscribe the holy days and turn on the bell to ensure your antenna remains tuned to this transmission as the shift intensifies. What distinguishes this monumental resurgence from every previous attempt to navigate your way back to wholeness is this critical distinction. This time, the person initiating the change is fundamentally different. You are not the weary soul attempting tired strategies. The crucible of your recent experiences has wrought an essential alchemical change within you. You have integrated the lessons. The hard-won wisdom has become bone deep. Your internal architecture has been redesigned. Your consciousness has broadened its aperture, allowing a richer understanding of reality. Your discernment, that inner knowing, has been honed to a razor edge. Your life's priorities have been divinely recalibrated. Where once you tolerated chaos and compromise, your tolerance for dysfunction is now virtually non-existent. Crucially, your commitment to protecting and nurturing your own sacred well-being has reached an unprecedented peak. You are no longer equipped with the obsolete tools or the limited understanding of the past. You are not going backward to relitigate old conflicts or wrestle with familiar demons. Instead, you are accelerating forward into expansive, uncharted territory, fortified by formidable new capabilities, profound wisdom, and a newly claimed internal power. This resurgence, beginning at this precise moment, is not linear or limited. It is a simultaneous operation across multiple dimensions. This is not merely one quadrant of your life improving while others remain stagnant. This is a comprehensive, multi-layered restoration and an elevation across every single domain of your existence. Watch as your relationships undergo a crucial reconfiguration. Observe as your financial reality snaps into alignment. Feel the palpable return of vitality and health. Witness your purpose crystallizing into undeniable clarity. Sense your sphere of influence dramatically enlarging. Expect the full, unadulterated return of your deep, inherent joy. All of it, all commencing at once, because when the divine orchestrates your restoration, it is never characterized by hesitation or incompleteness.
Let us discuss specifically
what is poised to shift. First, your relationships are entering a season of profound, necessary transformation. Toxic connections, those attachments that have been relentlessly siphoning your vital energy for far too long, are going to naturally lose resonance and either gently fade away or conclude with definitive clarity. You will not be required to force or orchestrate these necessary endings. They will unfold organically as the frequency gap between your new elevated state and the low vibration of certain individuals becomes too vast, too impossible to bridge. Concurrently, connections that are deeply aligned with your soul's blueprint are preparing to enter your life in ways that feel utterly destined and cosmically perfect. You are going to encounter people who feel instantly like coming home after a long journey. Conversations will flow with effortless grace and authenticity. Support will be reciprocally mutual, a beautiful give and take, rather than the draining, one-sided exchanges of the past. These new, sacred relationships will never require you to shrink your authentic self, pretend to be someone you are not, or perform for validation. You will be able to show up whole and be celebrated unequivocally for it. Your financial situation is about to experience a profound breakthrough, a shift that will utterly defy the constraints of your present circumstances. Resources that have been stubbornly blocked or diverted are going to begin flowing with increasing momentum. Opportunities for income generation that were previously invisible to your limited perspective are going to become abundantly clear and easily accessible. Ideas for generating sustainable wealth are going to instantly download directly into your consciousness. The exact resources you require are going to materialize at the precise moment you require them. This pivotal change is not reliant upon working harder or increasing your desperate hustle. This breakthrough stems from finally being in pure alignment with the energetic frequency of abundance, and abundance responding instantly to that perfect alignment. The scarcity you experienced previously was not a reflection of your worthiness or capability. It was simply an issue of timing and preparation that had not yet reached completion. Now, they are complete. Your physical and mental health are going to improve in startling ways that will surprise even you. Energy that felt perpetually depleted is going to return in surging waves. Sleep that was consistently disrupted is going to become deep, restorative, and healing once again. Chronic symptoms that have plagued your daily existence are going to significantly lessen or entirely disappear. The constant hum of anxiety and the heavy cloak of depression that have been unwelcome companions are going to perceptibly lift. This is far beyond temporary reprieve. This is your entire system recalibrating to a dramatically higher baseline of integrated wellness. Your body has functioned as a faithful repository, holding the memory of past stress, trauma, and disappointment within its very cells. As your external reality radically shifts, your internal biology will respond in kind. Healing is occurring simultaneously on every known level. Your sense of purpose and direction is about to crystallize with stunning, undeniable clarity. The persistent confusion regarding your life's essential assignment, what you are meant to be doing, is going to dramatically dissolve. You are going to wake up knowing precisely what your next steps are, free of ambiguity. The assignment that has been calling to you from the periphery, yet that you could never quite grasp, is now coming into sharp, actionable focus. And with this profound clarity will arrive the necessary courage and unshakable conviction to pursue it without seeking permission or offering apology. You will not require every person in your circle to understand your path. You will not need external validation to initiate movement. You will possess an internal certainty, and that alone will be more than sufficient. Your influence and palpable impact are going to expand far beyond anything you have previously encountered. When you speak, people are going to listen with a markedly different reverence. When you walk into a room, the entire atmosphere is going to noticeably shift. When you set out to create something, it is going to carry unusual power and exceptional reach. Understand, this is not rooted in ego or a quest for superficial fame. This is the consequence of you finally stepping fully into the inherent authority that has always belonged to you, but which you were previously too wounded or too timid to claim. Your voice carries necessary weight. Your unique perspective is urgently needed. Your contribution is unequivocally essential. And commencing today, you are going to begin operating within the full power of that truth. But we must address the fundamental truth of these profound comebacks. They demand your absolute and active participation. The cosmos can meticulously arrange the pathway, and heaven can hold the door open, but the steps must be yours. The universe will present the impeccable opportunities, yet you must possess the decisiveness to seize them. Your higher consciousness can transmit undeniable clarity, but you must commit to embodying that truth through action. This is decisively not a passive process where blessings simply materialize while you remain tethered to outdated behaviors. Your comeback is a profound demand that you show up differently. Think with elevated perspective, make conscious choices, and move through the world with entirely new locomotion than you have before. You must be willing to abandon the comfortably familiar even when the transition feels acutely disorienting. Comfort zones often masquerade as sanctuaries, but they are in fact gilded cages. You have decisively outgrown the restrictive previous version of your life. The people, the physical locations, the energy patterns, and the limiting beliefs that were compatible with who you used to be are now utterly incompatible with the majesty of who you are becoming. Attempting to forcibly drag your old baggage into this elevated new season is the swift route to self-sabotage. Relinquish your grip, release the past. Cultivate profound trust that what is now departing is creating necessary, fertile emptiness for something exponentially superior to arrive. You must cultivate the profound ability to wager everything on yourself, particularly when the external world is hesitant to place its own bets. Your monumental shift will simply not be comprehensible to those who are still operating at the frequency you are currently transcending. They will inevitably interrogate your decisions, cast doubt upon your judgment, and attempt to project their own deepest fears onto the canvas of your sacred dreams. If you delay your ascent, waiting for their consensus or their superficial approval, you will remain eternally paralyzed. You must trust your own intuitive guidance far more than you trust their generalized opinions. You must value your internal, private vision more than you value their fleeting, external validation. Furthermore, you must possess the willingness to execute actions you have never before attempted. If you persist in doing exactly what you have always done, you are guaranteed to keep receiving exactly what you have always gotten. Your comeback requires bold new actions, the acceptance of new risks, elevated levels of faith, the establishment of inviolable new standards, firmer boundaries, and entirely new habitual patterns. You cannot intellectually think your way into a new life. You must actively behave your way into it, and that powerful, decisive action begins right now, today. Today holds significant resonance for multiple compelling reasons. We stand precisely on the threshold following the new moon, signifying the energetic completion of a powerful cycle of release and concentrated intention setting. This marks the initiation of a potent new lunar phase designed explicitly to support manifestation and accelerated growth. Furthermore, it is perfectly situated within the final quarter of the year, granting you essential momentum to conclude this period powerfully and architect an extraordinary transition into the next. But, most pivotally, this day has been divinely designated and energetically marked as your personal launch date. This is the precise moment your comeback officially commences. Right now, as these words penetrate your understanding, you must deliberately choose to do something different from your usual routine. Do not merely absorb this message and then instantly revert to scrolling through distractions or reacting to low-level demands. Instead, dedicate a few deliberate minutes to energetically set the tone for the entire process. Speak declarations of truth out loud into the atmosphere. Offer profound thanks to heaven for your anticipated comeback, even before the physical evidence is visible. Visualize yourself already living fully and seamlessly within the reality you are creating. Truly inhabit and feel the powerful emotions of having already received the blessings you are claiming. This is not naive, wishful thinking. This is the act of you aligning your core frequency with the vibration of your new reality so that you can instantly recognize, accept, and receive it as it majestically manifests throughout this day. Pay obsessive attention to absolutely everything. Your comeback will emphatically announce its arrival through unmistakable signs, perfectly timed synchronicities, and sudden, unexpected opportunities. Expect someone to reach out completely out of the blue with an exceptional offer. An idea might suddenly drop into your awareness, fully formed and actionable. A seemingly random encounter could catalyze a major connection. A solution to a persistent problem might suddenly become glaringly obvious. Do not dismiss these pivotal moments as mere chance. Acknowledge them as the definitive confirmation from the cosmos that your comeback is in rapid motion. In the ensuing hours and days, you will also be confronted with inevitable tests. Old, familiar temptations are going to deliberately present themselves, designed to check if you will fall back into those comfortable, old patterns. Distractions will aggressively arise, engineered to pull you off your crucial new course. People from your deep past might unexpectedly resurface, attempting to drag you back into dynamics and dramas you have completely outgrown. Doubt will whisper insidious lies that this comeback is merely a fantasy and that you are profoundly fooling yourself. These challenges are not indicators that you are on the wrong path. They are, paradoxically, definitive confirmation that you are on the absolutely correct one. The universe always administers a final examination right before a major breakthrough to ensure you are truly prepared to receive and sustainably maintain the blessings that are incoming. Your conscious response to these specific tests will dictate the speed at which your comeback fully manifests. If you give in to former temptations, engage in old dramas, or entertain old, limiting doubts, you will significantly decelerate the process. But if you maintain an unwavering focus, uphold your new, strong boundaries, and keep your faith resilient, you will accelerate the manifestation exponentially. Every conscious choice you make to honor your new identity over your previous one acts to solidify your comeback. Every instance where you protect your sacred energy instead of giving it away strengthens your position. Every time you take a decisive, aligned action, even when fear is present, you provide powerful proof to the universe that you are serious. Let us candidly address a crucial internal dialogue. Some of you are absorbing this message, and a profound part of you desperately wants to believe it. Yet another deeply entrenched part remains fiercely skeptical. You have been disappointed before. You have invested hope only to see it shattered. Your attempts at radical life change have sometimes culminated right back where you began. So, I recognize that a protective cynicism may be stirring within you, whispering that this is likely just more empty promises. I fully affirm that your caution is logically founded given the preceding circumstances. Yet, I urge you to consider one powerful question. What if this time truly is the breakthrough? What if your previous attempts failed, not because of a lack of capability, but simply because the celestial timing was not yet precisely right? What if all those frustrating false starts were actually the necessary preparation and foundational work required for this singular moment? What if the only remaining barrier between you and your breakthrough is your conscious willingness to believe and hope just one more time? You literally have nothing tangible to lose by choosing belief and everything to profoundly gain. If you approach today with expectation and spiritual openness, and the day does not unfold exactly as described, you are no worse off than you were 5 minutes ago. But if you approach today shackled by cynicism and closed-heartedness, and this truly is your appointed moment, you risk missing the entire miraculous shift. Faith is not about being naive or ignoring painful reality. Faith is the radical choice to remain wide open to possibility, even when all your past experience suggests you should close down. It is about giving life and yourself one more chance to deliver a magnificent surprise. And chosen one, you have persevered this far, you might as well commit to going all in. Your ascent will inevitably generate discomfort in others, and you must prepare your resilience for this. When you transition from a prolonged season of struggle to palpable, undeniable victory, it acts as a stark trigger for those who remain mired in their stagnation. Your success functions as an unsparing mirror, reflecting their own unresolved potential and lack of movement. And instead of feeling inspired by your achievement, they may harbor significant resentment. People who claim to be your steadfast supporters during your deep struggle might suddenly become distant, critical, or subtly sabotage when you begin to truly rise. This truth is not a reflection of your character. It is solely about their own unhealed wounds and their unmet potential. Do not dare dim your inherent light to manage their comfort levels. Do not downplay your blessings to avoid their visible jealousy. Do not permit yourself to feel guilt for finally receiving what you profoundly deserve. Your comeback is not an act of aggression against anyone else. It is simply the claiming of your sacred birthright. There is a specific energy that characterizes comebacks that you must understand and skillfully navigate. When you have been marginalized or down for a long period and you begin rising again, there is a powerful temptation to prove everyone wrong, to publicly rub your success in the faces of those who doubted you, and to ensure everyone who dismissed your value sees what you have successfully become. Resist that impulse fiercely. Your comeback is not fundamentally about seeking revenge or craving external validation from people who could never accurately perceive your value. Your comeback is about you finally, fully seeing your own magnificent worth and structuring your entire life to reflect that reality. The most exquisite form of vindication is not proving people wrong. It is becoming so consumed by the magnificence of your forward trajectory that you genuinely forget their existence. Let your powerful results speak for themselves. Let your complete transformation be the definitive statement. You do not need to proactively announce your comeback. Your dazzling new reality will announce it for you. One of the most potent and transformative aspects of your comeback is that it is going to thoroughly rewrite the essential narrative of your life. For too long, the dominant narrative, the story you tell yourself and others, has been shaped by chronic misfortune. The betrayals, the financial setbacks, the profound losses, the crushing disappointments. Your core identity became wrapped up and inseparable from your struggle. You became known as the person who was perpetually going through it, the one who couldn't catch a break, the one who kept trying and kept persistently falling short. That crippling story is definitively ending. Starting today, you are entering a majestic new chapter where the narrative permanently shifts from victim to victor, from barely struggling to exuberantly thriving, from merely surviving to fully and powerfully alive. And as your external circumstances radically change, the very way you talk about your life will change. The profound way you see yourself will change. The way others perceive and interact with you will change completely. But here is something crucial about this narrative shift. You cannot afford to wait for your external reality to shift before you begin revising the script. You must start speaking from the position of someone whose comeback is already a reality. Stop the limiting dialogue. I'm trying to pull my life together. Start declaring, I am actively engaged in a monumental comeback. Stop the passive statement, I hope things get better soon. Start affirming, everything is powerfully shifting in my favor right now. Stop reminiscing, I've been through so much trauma. Start testifying, I have been perfectly prepared for greatness through everything I have experienced. The words you choose to speak are the creative force that shapes reality. The story you choose to tell about yourself becomes the life you live. Change your fundamental narrative today and watch your reality conform miraculously to the new blueprint. Your profound comeback mandates an essential upgrade of your internal standards and your protective boundaries. The previous version of you, the one who passively tolerated disrespect, accepted meager compromises, perpetually excused poor behavior, and settled for far less than your inherent worth, could never have sustained this blessing. That version would have inevitably sabotaged any influx of abundance because the internal blueprint was fundamentally misaligned with the external opportunity. But you have been diligently performing the inner work. You have been healing the deepest wounds. You have been learning with absolute clarity what you will and will not accept into your space. And now, your standards are dramatically higher. Your boundaries are clearer and non-negotiable. Your tolerance for chaos and dysfunction is lower than ever before. This formidable new version of you can handle the coming comeback because you will not permit anyone or anything to compromise the sacred structure you are building. This means that some relationships that manage to survive your valley season will simply not be able to endure your mountain season. People who had unlimited access to you when you were broken or incomplete will not be granted the same level of access now that you are becoming undeniably whole. Dynamics that seemed functional when you were desperate and seeking any port in a storm will not work now that you are fully empowered. And this necessary culling is perfectly acceptable. In fact, it is essential. Your magnificent comeback requires you to vigilantly protect what you are building, and sometimes that means limiting or entirely ending access for people who cannot genuinely celebrate your growth without simultaneously trying to derail or sabotage it. Do not feel guilt or sadness about this.
You are not abandoning anyone.
You are consciously choosing yourself and honoring your destiny. And anyone who harbors a problem with you choosing yourself was never truly and authentically for you to begin with.
Chosen ones.
After establishing your unshakable boundaries and rewriting the script of your life, the next sovereign challenge is maintaining and nurturing the frequency of this rebirth. This is not a fleeting event. It is a divine continuity that demands conscious intention and daily high vibrational choices. A true comeback is not about reaching a destination and stopping. It is about the complete transmutation of your being, becoming a new entity with new habits, new thoughts, and new reactions. Like a tender seedling emerging from the scorched earth, your new reality requires daily watering to grow into an unyielding, ancient tree. The foundation of all sustainable success is vibrational consistency. Every small choice you make, refusing an old habit, shielding your energy, or dedicating time to your new mission, is a brick in the fortress of your future. Never underestimate the power of these micro-shifts. They create an unstoppable momentum that the matrix cannot disrupt. You have endured the greatest trials to achieve this internal shift. Now, trust in your authority to sustain it. View every day as a sacred opportunity to reaffirm your commitment to the master you are becoming. You are building a bedrock for a future where success is not luck, but the inevitable result of your inner growth. As you look back at the path you've traversed, a profound truth reveals itself. Every trial, every sting of pain, and every shadow of disappointment was not meaningless. They were divine lessons in disguise, the seasoning that enriched your story and the cosmic forge that tempered your soul into pure gold. There were moments when you felt abandoned, punished by the stars themselves. But in truth, the universe was silently preparing you for a massive role, a greater power. Nothing was wasted. Every experience was a calculated part of the process to bring you to this exact coordinate in time. Humility and gratitude are the two master keys to maintaining your elevation. When you have risen from the abyss, you never take your height for granted. You develop a radical empathy for those still in the shadows, understanding that your rise is supported by the invisible hands of the universe. This keeps you anchored and immune to the trap of ego. Your story is no longer just yours. It is a lighthouse of hope for those lost where you once were. When you shine, you don't just illuminate your own path. Your success is living proof that every wound can heal and every dream can manifest. Let your gratitude for the journey become the fuel for your continued ascent. As you step into this season of return, the old fears, the ghosts of the matrix, may whisper, "What if I fail again? What if I'm hurt once more?" Fear is a natural byproduct of expansion, but this time you face it with a different frequency. Fear is not a signal that you are on the wrong path. Often, it is the indicator that you are on the brink of a monumental breakthrough. It is the gatekeeper of your evolution, demanding proof that you are brave enough to cross. The difference this time is that you are equipped. You have learned to trust your intuition over the static of others. You have developed the resilience to see failure not as a dead end, but as a necessary stepping stone. Your value is no longer tied to external outcomes or the opinions of the unawakened. Your power comes from within. Surrender is not an option. You have come too far to return to the valley. Living a life smaller than your potential is far more terrifying than any failure. Choose to face the unknown with courage, for the reward is an extraordinary life. You have everything you need to dissolve every lingering fear. Walk with the certainty that you are ready, you are worthy, and you are destined. This is your moment, chosen one. This is the coordinate that all your preparation has led to. The wait is over. The struggle has reached its conclusion. The comeback begins now. Today, January 26th, the fabric of your reality shifts, not by chance, but because you have earned it through your loyalty to your soul, your resilience, and your refusal to break. The heavens have watched. The universe has prepared. And now, finally, you receive the harvest for everything you have endured. You have passed the great test. Your comeback is not a possibility, it is an active state of being. Claim it, own it, master it. This is your time. Every tear you shed watered the seeds of this resurrection. Every sleepless night of anxiety prepared you for the sleepless nights of excitement. Every person who walked away made room for your true tribe to enter. Every door that slammed shut led you to this open gate. Nothing was accidental. Everything had a purpose. Today is when the dots connect and the great architecture becomes clear. Your story isn't ending. This is the end of the prologue and the beginning of the most magnificent chapter you have ever lived. Step into it with your head high and your heart open. The universe conspired to break you only so it could rebuild you into something indestructible. You are not the person who entered that valley. You are wiser, stronger, and more authentic. This new version of you is capable of holding a level of abundance that your old self could never process. Your comeback isn't just about reclaiming what was lost. It's about claiming what you never had before, but always deserved. You have walked through the fire and emerged as refined gold. Step forward with absolute conviction. Your season has arrived.